So welcome to the enterprise-wide employee well-being workshop on the best recognition resources for your staff. And the vision of the employee well-being team is to create the culture and environment where our employees like you feel supported in all aspects of your work and life. And in order to best support you, we have a variety of resources available at the Wellbeing Central Internet site. And you can find Wellbeing Central by going to the Mayo Clinic Internet homepage, select Destinations, Health and Wellbeing, and then Wellbeing Central. And at Wellbeing Central, you'll find resources to support you, such as our Wellbeing Network newsletter, Wellbeing Index, along with opportunities to register for virtual wellness coaching or other virtual workshops like this one. In addition, we have peer-to-peer support through the HELP program and resources to foster well-being at the work unit level, such as our Wellbeing Champion program, Supervisor Toolkit, and also recognition resources, which we're going to hear about today. In addition, it's important to the employee well-being team that we are offering you resources that also foster the Mayo Clinic values. And today's topic on recognition definitely fosters the Mayo Clinic values. So I'm grateful to have our Mayo Clinic and Incentive Services panelists here to speak on the best recognition resources for your staff. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Pam.
Thanks, Bridget, and good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Pam Glassley. I'm the manager of events and recognition. I'm happy to be here today to overview our recognition program as well as unveil an exciting new manager store. Joining me today from my team are Rachel Stiggy, the events manager, and Lindsay Marks, a well-being specialist, both of whom you'll hear from in just a bit. I'd like to now turn the program over to Pat Cronin, Vice President of Incentive Services, our recognition partner for more than 25 years. Pat?
Yeah, well, thanks, Pam. It's great to be here. So I'm Pat Cronin. I'm the Vice President of Sales and owner of Incentive Services. This is my 32nd year in the recognition industry, and it is just great. We are helping organizations elevate their culture and recognize and appreciate their employees. I'm part of the Cronin family who founded Incentive Services in 1981. And really for the last 40 plus years, we've been fortunate to work with organizations like you to develop these culture building recognition strategies across the organization. I'd like to introduce our team from Incentive Services with Sue Cruikshank, Strategic Account Manager, Levon Schaefer, who's an Executive Director, and Todd Clausen, who's an Account Executive. As I mentioned before, we're just fortunate to work with Mayo, with Pam, Rachel, Lindsay, and their team really for the last 25 years to develop the recognition strategy and platform which hosts your key recognition programs, which includes service awards and retirement, Mayo Pride, Above and Beyond, Excellence, and new, the Manager Recognition Program. So today we're going to briefly walk you through each program and very importantly, overview the expectations for managers, leaders, supervisors, and how they can maximize the recognition experience with the Mayo employees to continually acknowledge, validate, thank, and recognize them, and certainly promote the great culture at the Mayo Clinic. From here, I'm going to turn it over to Todd Clausen. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much, Pat. And as Pat mentioned, I am Todd Clausen with the healthcare team at Incentive Services. And before we get into some of the great resources that we have to share with you to help recognize your team, just want to take a step back and kind of talk about the role of recognition and the role that managers play in that process. As you see here, and starting on the left, kind of talking about the role that recognition plays in driving culture. We all know that recognition creates emotions. We can probably remember a time where we were positively recognized for going above and beyond and how that made us feel. Conversely, we can probably all remember a time where maybe we went above and beyond, but it was a little bit unnoticed and how that made us feel also. We know those emotions can shape our attitudes about our employer, our leader, our coworkers, and those attitudes shape our behaviors on a daily basis. Those behaviors shape our culture, and our culture will drive results. So what we're here to do in partnering with Mayo Clinic is really develop a recognition strategy that shows consistent appreciation for the individual from the Mayo Clinic, but also give you, the leaders, the tools and resources to recognize your team on an individual basis for when you see them going above and beyond to help drive engagement, retention, and productivity. We talked about the importance and the role of recognition. Just a quick information here in terms of the role and the importance of the manager plays in the employee experience. And this information just came out from Gallup at the end of the summer that found out that 70% of the variance in team engagement is determined solely by the manager. So what we're here in today is to share with you, the leaders, some of the resources that you have at your availability to positively recognize your team for living the rich ties, values, and going above and beyond in their actions. And now I'm going to turn it over to Pam Glassley.
Thanks, Todd. About a year ago, we reimagined the recognition website. We knew that it was a difficult website to navigate, so we made it both easy and user-friendly. So I want to show you quickly how you can navigate to the recognition website right from the Mayo Clinic homepage. So what you do is you go to the Mayo Clinic homepage, you click on the quick links. Under quick links in the drop down, you'll find employee recognition. If you click on employee recognition, it will take you directly to the website that you will find years of service program, the above and beyond program, our excellence awards, e-cards, Kudoboard, and our new manager award store. I'm going to turn the program over to Rachel Stiggy, who's going to overview our years of service and retirement programs for you. Rachel?
Thanks so much, Pam. So I'm going to do a really high level look at the milestone anniversary boxes that each of our allied health staff employees receive starting on their 5-year anniversary and then get every 5 years after that. So as you can see on the photo on the right, the packets include a lucite plaque with a certificate, our lapel pins that go on our badges with your years of service noted, and then a card with a code for employees to redeem their gift of choice on the recognition website. Packets are sent to employees' homes to arrive the week of their anniversary. As some of you may remember, prior to COVID, the service award packets were sent to managers and then presented to employees in person. However, like with so many things, we've had to adapt and change to our now increased remote workers and shared services across the enterprise. So the manager's role of adapting and recognizing these milestones has become even more important. So the acknowledgements of anniversaries, especially at a place like Mayo Clinic where longevity is highly valued, we definitely want to make sure we're noting these dates and recognizing them both in individual settings and amongst our departments. So there are 3 opportunities that you're going to have that you'll have notification of your employees' milestone anniversaries. The first is going to be an email reminder at the beginning of the year that's going to be sent to each manager and supervisors who have direct reports who are going to be having milestone anniversaries that year. It's a great time to calendar and even set up your e-cards to be delivered on anniversaries so that you can have those on the recognition website and they automatically send out. It's a great tool and Pam will go over that a little bit later. At the 30-day mark, you'll receive an email like the one you see on the right with an overview of the whole process, as well as a link for the Mayo Clinic recognition site, which will provide additional resources for acknowledging these milestones. Lastly, you're going to be CC'd the day of the employee's anniversary on a note that goes to individual employees with their gift code information and a note from Dr. Ferrugia and Christina Zorn. So although you aren't able to present these items in person like you might have in the past, we're encouraging you to use options on the recognition site, as well as take advantage of team meetings, creating Kudoboards and encouraging your department to take part in different celebrations. Another piece of the recognition life cycle is retirements. So again, as with service awards, the retirement programs changed slightly since 2020 in the way that these items are delivered. Each retiree will receive their retirement package in the mail within 3 weeks of their retirement date. So a common misconception is it's based on their last day of actual working, possibly using PTO to take their end date a little bit longer, but it's actually based on the last day in the system when you're officially no longer employed, which for some is a distance from their last day because of PTO. So as you have employees who are exiting, that's just kind of a note to remember that those packages will be coming based on their last day of employment at Mayo Clinic. Each package includes a congratulations letter and a card, a Mayo branded pin, and gift ordering information so they can go again to that recognition website and select an item for their retirement. For those employees who are labeled as full-time remote workers in the HR system, they will receive a cookie box sent to their home the month of their retirement. Again, with the changing workforce, they're more than likely to not be coming on site to do group retirement receptions, and that's kind of how we've combated and changed our approach for recognizing their retirement. They're automatically sent, no further actions needed from the managers. So it's hopefully an easy touch point for our managers to show that they're recognized without having to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Pam to give a quick update on the in-person retirement receptions and continue with the next portion of training.
Great, thanks much, Rachel. I do just want to quickly touch base on the retirement receptions. As all of you know, in 2020, we paused all retirement receptions. In 2021, we were able to bring them back with some restrictions with food, bottled water, and individually boxed cupcakes. We've had many, many requests to bring back the retirement cakes, and I'm pleased to announce that we will be bringing them back within the next month. So the catering tracks will all be updated so that staff can now order retirement cakes. Before we proceed, though, I do want to just talk briefly about our service program survey results. And we do survey every single employee that receives a service award. And as you can see by the screen here, we have very high % favorable ratings. One things that I do want to touch base with quickly on is how employees rate the manager's acknowledgement of their service anniversary. Unfortunately, in the last year, this has dropped 10%. It was at almost 86%. And we know that it is very difficult with the pandemic and the change with the mailing of the packets to homes, that it's not as easy to publicly recognize your staff for their years of service. So we are here to just tell you that we are committed to create programs and tools to help you to recognize their staff, your staff. And if you ever need any kind of guidance, you certainly can reach out to me or Rachel, and we are happy to help you with any of that. I'm going to turn the program back over to LaVon Schaefer, who is going to review our recognition tools and resources. LaVon?
Thank you, Pam. So we'll just take a moment. I'm going to take a moment to go through the website and all of the programs, some of which we've already discussed, but show where they are on the website. So on the homepage, you can see we're highlighting all of the locations. We have some quick links that make it very easy to get to service awards, the Above and Beyond program, and e-cards. So you can use those quick links, whenever you come out to the site. Additionally, we share the most recent recognitions that have been sent, but I don't know if you knew, but you have a view to all of the recognitions that have been sent. So when I click View All, I come to what we call the recognition wall.
LaVon,
Yes.
Can you please share your screen?
It is that, I am, yes. I am so sorry. Here we go. I'm sorry, I will start. So I started out with the quick links that are listed on the left-hand side. And then I was talking about the recognitions, the most recent recognitions that have been sent. If you click View All, you come to that recognition wall. You are able to drill down by location. So if you're looking for a particular location, the recognition wall will narrow that search, or you can search by a name. Now, when you come to the wall, it gives you the ability to comment or like a recognition. When you do that, the recipient of that recognition will be notified again. So this is a great tool for managers to use to be able to amplify those recognitions throughout the organization. And we get feedback that it's really meaningful to employees to have those add-on recognitions. Now I will go through the navigation. So years of service, Rachel did a great job of talking through the years of service program. Under the program information, again, it's eligibility, talks about those recognition packets, as well as Argent Society. If you are celebrating an anniversary and you have received your packet at home or an email with that invitation code, you can come out to the website and enter your invitation code and select your award from this website. Another great feature is every month we are highlighting the anniversaries of all of Mayo Clinic. So we list by location and then by years of service. So you could come out each month and see everyone within the organization that is celebrating their anniversary that month. Then finally, under years of service is retirement. So Pam and Rachel have talked a little bit about that, gives you reception guidelines. For Excellence Awards, I am going to turn it over to Lindsay to give us an overview of the Excellence Awards.
Thanks, LaVon. So the Excellence Awards are one way that Mayo Clinic fosters recognition of our people. And through these formal awards, we're really highlighting the individuals, teams, and leaders who exemplify our Mayo Clinic value of excellence and inspire people within their work units to model those types of behaviors. So over the past year, we have continued to work on simplifying the nomination process, streamlining some things, and making these awards available to all of our employees at every site and region. So you will see some changes coming over the next few months. We have several different awards. We highlight individuals for their service excellence. We highlight excellence in leadership, excellence in teamwork, and then also the Caris Award. So really looking at our Mayo Clinic values. So currently for our individual award for service excellence, if we have recipients within Arizona, Florida, and Rochester, they are automatically considered for our Mayberry Award, which is the highest honor you can receive at Mayo Clinic. For our Mayo Clinic health system staff, we have a direct nomination process right now for the Mayberry Award, which is open until December 1st. So if you're within the health system, I encourage you to go out and nominate a colleague. You will see kind of the award deadline. You see the deadlines, and that is really when our selection committees are meeting to make selections. The nomination is open all the time, so you can come and nominate. If you don't make a deadline, you will be able to submit that nomination and have it considered for the next quarter. If you have any questions about criteria or whether or not somebody has received the award in the past, you can email us at our Mayo Awards Excellence at mayo.edu, and all of the nomination forms are linked at the bottom of the page. I do encourage you to look closely at the eligibility criteria. It's slightly different for each of the awards, and sometimes there is a year of service criteria that is in there. And some helpful hints if you do plan to nominate somebody is when you look at the criteria for the award, really try to explain in detail specific examples or situations where you have seen that person demonstrate excellence. That is really what our selection committees are looking at to be able to score and make a good selection. I'll turn it back over to you, LaVon.
Thank you. I'm going to go through the Above and Beyond Awards. So this is a nomination program that's available to all Mayo Clinic employees. And it's really recognizing employees who are demonstrating those Mayo values that Bridget talked about in the beginning, those rich tie values. When a nomination is submitted, both the recipient and their supervisor are notified by email. And then you should know that on a monthly basis, there's 400 winners that are randomly selected from all of the nominations that have been submitted. I'm going to go through the process so that you can see how easy it is to submit that. I'm going to nominate Pam Glassley. One thing I want to point is that there is a demographic. So Mayo Clinic's a large organization. You can make sure that you're nominating the correct person. And you can nominate more than one person at a time. You would simply type in another name and it will add to the list. The The rich ties are noted under the reason, so you will want to select one of the reasons that you're nominating. And then I am going to type in a comment. And I would encourage you to be as specific as possible. When you're nominating someone, the nominations are most meaningful when they're very specific. And then you have the ability to either share this on the recognition wall that I showed you, or keep your comment private. There are people who are not comfortable with public recognition, so you can make that determination. Once I submit this, I'm going to come to a confirmation screen, make sure everything is correct. Just know that this message is going to go on the certificate and be emailed to Pam. So once I submit that recognition, I could see that Pam has received that. I can also view that certificate and print it if I wanted to hand it to Pam in person.
And the other thing that happens when I get that certificate is that my boss gets that certificate copy as well. And when one of my staff gets a certificate and above and beyond, I always, and this is a great way to have another touch point with your staff, I always forward that email that I get right to the employee that received it and say, thanks for going above and beyond, you're terrific, whatever it is that you want to say. It's just one more touch point that you have with the employee that you can recognize them for the good work that they do. Sorry about that, Levon, go ahead.
That's great, thank you. If you're one of the lucky 400 winners, you'll be notified by email, and you could come out to the website to select your award. So there's a collection of awards. You would simply click on the award you would like, put in your shipping address, and it will be shipped directly to you. The other features are you have access to both the above and beyond recognitions you've received and sent. So you can look at that history. And then finally, there's a user guide. I think that is helpful. It goes through the process that I just went through, kind of a step-by-step process on how to nominate. But you have the ability to print this one-page flyer. So whether you wanted to print it and post it, or if somebody was struggling with the process, you could print it and hand it to somebody. The next program I'm going to go through are e-cards. So we've tripled the number of e-cards in the last year. And you could see you could sort by category. There are a number of Mayo Clinic branded e-cards that are really beautiful. And the process is very similar to the above and beyond. I can select who I would like to send the e-card to. It automatically will enter in Pam's email address. And because when you log into the website, you've come in through SSO, it's authenticated you, the site knows who you are. So it will have your name and email address as well. And again, I'm going to type a short message. And then we have this great feature that you can future date. If you wanted to send an e-card in a week, you're able to future date.
And again, I'll interject here. This is what Rachel was referencing when she was talking about sending the employee a card for their anniversary. When you get your annual list in January, I would encourage you to, if you can, just sit down and put these on your calendar. You can, when you have time, just predate all of your employees' anniversary notes and cards, and it will send the card on the date that you I have identified that you'd like it sent. And then I believe, Levon, correct me if I'm wrong, that they also will get a copy of the card, right?
So you can select if you'd like an email reminder, which is great, and the date that you would like that reminder. So it's a wonderful feature because it gives you the opportunity to make that personal connection. Again, it's another reminder, and you can connect on the life event that you're recognizing.
Thank you.
So again, you can continue, and it is that confirmation screen. You can preview or print the e-card. You can click to modify, but I'm going to send that e-card. And then, like above and beyond, you're able to view your history. of e-cards that you have sent. I'm going to turn this over to Pam. She's going to talk a little bit about Kudoboards and then announce the great new manager store.
Thank you. As many of you know, in 2020, we had to change the way we worked, especially in recognition and events. And one of the things that we found that was really difficult was our staff not being able to gather, not being able to be together. So we found a great way to reconnect our staff in a virtual way with the Kudoboards when we couldn't gather. And you can think of Kudoboard as just a huge online greeting card that is terrific for celebrating birthdays, promotions, retirements, etc. And I'm not going to go into great detail with Kudoboard today because it is extraordinarily popular. I suspect almost everybody on this webinar has either created a Kudoboard or been part of a Kudoboard, because as of right now, we have 34,000 active Kudoboard users. So it is a terrific add to our recognition program, and it's a great and fun tool for our staff to utilize. I will turn the program back to LaVon. She's going to, actually, it's me. Sorry about that. I get to announce the new recognition website. We have been working for about 2 years trying to create a new tool for managers and supervisors to be able to utilize their recognition dollars. And many of you know that in 2020, we launched Gift Rochester, which has been extraordinarily popular. We're also working with Incentive Services to create an online an online manager store that you can go online and use your recognition dollars and have gifts actually sent right to the employee's home. Because Incentive Services is our partner, they have access to our employee addresses and things of that nature. So it allows them to be able to send stuff to employees' homes very easily. So I'm going to turn it over to LaVon to go through that program, and then I'll come back and talk about Gift Rochester.
Great. So as Pam said, this is a program that's intended for managers and supervisors to use their recognition dollars. And we have 3 categories of awards. We have a $15 awards with the Mayo Clinic logo, $25 with the Mayo Clinic logo, and $25 awards that do not have a logo. So really the shopping is easy. You would select the item, and then you can select the number. So if I'm a manager and I have 6 employees that I would like to recognize with the camp mug with the Mayo logo, I'm going to add it to my cart. I'm going to view my cart. This allows me to just kind of review the order. I'm going to go through the checkout process. The next step is just the information. So you'll need to supply an email address and then your shipping information as well as a phone number. And we will need all of that information in case we need to contact you. Then you will continue to shipping. And as Pam said, this is the great feature of this site. You can either select to have all of these camp mugs sent to you if you're going to have an in-person event and wanted to hand them out, or Incentive Services can ship them to the home of your employees. All we would need you to do is supply us a list of the recipient names and their email addresses. As Pam said, we have access to the home addresses of your employees from a database that's supplied to us. So you would just send that list to Mayo Clinic Store at incentiveservices.com, and then you'll continue to payment. And this allows you to add your P card information and then pay now. And with that, your order will be submitted. If you want, if there are questions, Incentive Services will come back and contact you, but you'll know that those, if you want them shipped to the employee's home, we will be doing that.
LaVon, could you answer the question, will this be billed to our department or where do the funds come from?
I can actually answer that.
Yeah.
So you're going to you're going to pay on your P card, and we will update. This is not quite ready to go live yet. We just wanted to unveil it to you on the directions. It will show you what PAU to charge it to. All the sites are a bit different, so it depends where you work, but there's a certain activity code that you will use in Rochester. There's one PAU and an activity code, and in Arizona and Jacksonville, it's your department and a certain activity code, but we will put all of that in on the website so that you can easily identify that when you have your billing and concur that you need to cost out.
And Pam, can you use outside funds to pay?
So like if you want to buy, let's say you used your employee dollars already and you wanted to personally buy that. Is that the question? Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Great. And then Pam, I think you wanted to share a little bit about.
Yes, Gift Rochester. So as I talked about earlier, Gift Rochester, we launched it in 2020. When we launched it in 2020, it was in Rochester alone. And the reason for that was to help the downtown businesses as they were struggling with the pandemic. It was wildly popular and hugely successful. And it came back last year and we expanded it to Arizona. And now this year it is back again. It has a new name. It's been rebranded. It's called Neighborly Gifts. And I'm thrilled to announce that it's going to be in 4 states. And it is not quite ready to launch yet, but we will be launching it probably in the next month at the latest. It's going to launch with about 40 to 50 restaurants and over 80 small businesses in 4 states. It's going to be very simplified now. It's all electronic. And we are just thrilled that we can bring this program back and expand it across the enterprise. What I will say is I know this is a lot of information, especially with the new two new programs. When we are ready to launch this, which will be very, very soon, this will go in the managers and supervisors focus, a nice detailed article with all of the information that you need to be able to utilize your recognition dollars for your staff. So I know that was a lot of information in a short period of time. I see a lot of questions popping up on the chat, and I think we are ready to answer some of those.
Wonderful. Well, the first question is, could you please take us through the recognition homepage and how you got there? If we could.
Oh, sure. Let me see. I guess I need to share my screen, right? Let's see.
Or if little Don wants to.
Yes. Would you like me to go back to that homepage? Okay.
Please,
yeah.
Find a quick link. That would be great. And continue to place your questions in the Q&A button, and we will answer them.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. Back
Yeah.
one. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Here's the Mayo Clinic intranet homepage. So all you do is you go right on the right-hand side. There's this link right here called Quick Links. If you click that on, the drop down, you'll see employee recognition. You just click that on and it will take you right to the screen, right to the web page.
Great, thank you.
You bet.
Is there a start date to order cakes for retirement receptions, or is this already in place?
It is. We are hoping in the next week. I'm quickly working with all of the catering sites to try to get this back. It depends on what site you are at, quite frankly. So if you want to reach out to me separately, I'm happy to answer your questions. Arizona and Florida are ready to go. I'm working with Rochester to get them ready to go. And it is interesting. You would not believe how many people want those cakes back. I mean, so we're bringing them back.
Yay, okay. For above and beyond recognition, are staff eligible for a drawing even if the recognition was not added to the wall?
Oh, yes. Everybody is eligible. It's just the reason why it wasn't added to the wall is whoever created the recognition chose not to have it added to the wall.
Okay, thank you. Is there a way to send e-cards to more than one recipient at the same time?
I believe so, Levon.
I actually think it is just one at a time. I don't think that you can add a list. So unlike above and beyond, it's one at a time.
Okay. And it looks like Todd is going to answer the next one. Could you please share more details about managers getting a list of anniversary dates for their staff in January? Todd or
Rachel can
I
answer
actually
that.
can answer
Right.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that comes from, that comes from me. We usually send them the first 2 weeks in January, wishful thinking to try to get them out by the end of December, because it is about 3,000 to 4,000 managers that have employees who are celebrating, and we do send them out individually. But it's anybody that's going to be receiving a milestone anniversary award that year, so that you can get all of the dates, the years, and the names of your direct reports. If you don't think that you received it, I'm happy to connect with you. You can send me an email directly and I can look into that. And then of course, if people have questions throughout the year or changed report, or if they became managers of different areas or anything changed, I can always assist with that too throughout the year.
Great. And can an admin send e-cards on behalf of a leader?
Yes. Yes, they can. They have the ability to do that.
Just by selecting the recipient's name and the sender as the manager or leader. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you. How do I find out if I have recognition award money? Who do I ask for permission or approval?
It depends where you work. You can just reach out to me and I'm able to walk you through the process. I'm happy to do that.
And could you just give us an update how much recognition funds are available for each person within a department?
Every employee is allotted $15 annually, and it's April 1st through March 31st.
With the exception of, I believe Lindsay put in the chat, Northwest Wisconsin, I think it is $25.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you will see, I'm sorry, Bridget, you will see on both Shop Neighborly and the new Recognition Manager site that there are $25 options. And the reason why is there are departments that have department funds or separate checking accounts, or the manager just wants to use their own personal dollars to be able to buy additional items or increase that value to the employees. And we cap it at 25 because once we go to $25 and 1 penny, we have to tax the employees, and we certainly don't want to do that. So that's the reasoning why you see that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Not every manager has a P card. How do we use how do we do charges to PAU?
Okay. The easiest way to do that would be the same way you would if you have a travel card. Anything that you would do using your travel card. So if you were bringing in lunch from an external place that doesn't let you use PAUs, you would charge it and then either get reimbursed or just assign it and concur to that PAU for recognition funds.
Okay, thank you. Will the neighborly gifts be available to use by the November 25th deadline for this year's budget?
Yes, yes. They're ready to launch. We just have to finish some contractual stuff.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. And I do see a question in the chat. Could you walk us through how to use a Kudoboard by going to the homepage and setting up a Kudoboard?
Yeah, I will do that. Levon, if you want to stop sharing your screen, I will go on and do that. Okay. So can you see my screen? It's the website.
Yes.
Okay, great. So you go over here to Kudoboard right here. You click it on, go to create a Kudoboard. It's also a single sign-on. So you just click on SSO. I'm going to create a new board. Let's say I'm going to do a special occasion. I'm going to celebrate somebody's birthday or work anniversary. So I'm going to create I'm going to just do one for Rachel. Rachel, we're going to get all kinds of recognition today. And we'll just do happy birthday. Okay, next. So this, there you go, that's nice. That's hilarious. Let's see. Okay, so I have her happy birthday. I'm going to add to the board. Sorry. That Kudoboard threw me off. I'm going to add an image. Okay, I'm going to just go in picture library. We're just going to put, oh, do a GIF. Okay, add a GIF. Okay, I'm going to just do birthday. I'm going to upload a GIF. There we go. I'm going to add to the post. And then I can create a message right here and just say happiest. And then I'm going to post this. And there is the post. And if I want to invite people to participate, I can, or you can actually schedule it to be delivered. You can invite, so I'm going to change the background, which you can do. So there is a fun background. There is various themes. There's also Mayo branded themes that we can use that are here as well. Different patterns, and there's our custom branded themes right here. So when you invite somebody to participate in the Kudoboard, you just send them the link, and then it just continues to grow. It's one of the best features that we were able to bring to the employees at Mayo Clinic, and extraordinarily popular. So that's Kudoboard.
Great, thank you so much. Just a
You're
few
welcome.
other questions. If someone is a project manager and would like to recognize the project team with neighborly gifts, can they do so if they're not the direct supervisor?
Is it, that's going to be a question I'd have to talk to the person too about. I would say if you want to use your own personal dollars to be able to recognize a team, or you have dollars from, let's say, the project that you want to recognize people for, yes, the answer is yes.
Okay, which ties into the next question.
Okay.
Can you personally purchase items for your staff from this, or does it have to be Mayo money?
No, you can personally do that as well. And it's because many managers have already utilized those dollars. Or again, many departments actually have checking accounts that they can utilize the money for. So yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then if we could put the website link out into the chat for the recognition website, that would be great. Can you split the charge between P-card for $15 and a personal charge card if some item is $25?
Lavon, can you do that on yours?
I will answer that. I do not think so. I think there is one form of payment that would have to go along with each order.
Okay, thank you. And then for the manager awards, is there an option to select and ship different gifts to staff, or will managers need to select and ship the same gift to all staff?
You could select multiple gifts, so you can continue to add to your cart, and then in that list that is provided, you could designate what award you wanted shipped to particular employees.
Okay, thank you. Do you have suggestions for sending a small gift to remote staff as a thank you for the good work with the restrictions on gift cards? For example, a cup of coffee.
So with Shop Neighborly, they actually, one of the options is going to be a coffee and pastry, a gift. So, and again, that's going to all be electronic this year. So, so yeah, I think that would be a wonderful option for you to be able to send the remote workers. And also when Rachel and I work with departments all over the enterprise to help them with recognition items or programs for their staff. So if you have something that you want to do for your employees, let's say nurse anesthetist week, for instance, we would be, we're always happy to work with you to figure out some kind of a recognition gift or a program. and work with branding the items and things of that nature. So just always feel free to reach out.
Perfect. And can you clarify, are recognitions funds different than hospitality funds?
No, it's the same thing.
Okay, perfect. And if there are further questions, what is the email to contact?
One that I did see, sorry, this is Rachel, and I wanted to point out because I think I've seen it a couple times that just clarifying, and Pam, you can back me on this one. The neighborly gift is separate from the $15 annually, correct? That is incorrect. That was a one-time thing where we had separate money to use for Gift Neighborly or Gift Rochester. If you're going to use the funds for neighborly gifts, it would either be outside of the $15 that's provided or part of your recognition. There's no additional $15
Right.
available for this program and then $15 for recognition funds. It's $15 and you can use it in whatever capacity you'd like.
That is correct. Yes, that is correct.
So if you have questions, you can send those to directly to either Pam or myself, and we'd be happy to get those answered for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Otherwise, the email address is mayowardexcellence@mayo.edu. And so I'm going to invite all the panelists to come back. And thank you so much for your presentation today on all the wonderful recognition resources that are available to just recognize our amazing staff here at Mayo Clinic.